Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villa. Welcome to the 32nd and final episode of our Arsenal quest to win the Champions League. Because last episode we did indeed win the Champions League. Mission accomplished, our job here is done. Now rest assured we will be back with another first star. If you have a suggestion on a club, let me know in the comments at Aussie Villa on Twitter. I'm kind of leaning towards Everton right now. Just because I feel like of the other sort of big clubs, I think in the 80s they were a team. You look at the teams that won it back there, Forest and Villa. Everton kind of stand out as a team that haven't done it. So I think that I'm leaning towards them as the next challenge, but that's not for now. What we're doing right now is we're about to resign our job at Arsenal, which is difficult to do, I'll be honest, because we've built such a good team here. Then we're going to skip forward 5 years. I feel like the team that I've built here, will probably last for 5 years, and then players will have moved on, start to move on, retire, and things like that. New signings will be made. So we're going to resign, we're going to skip forward 5 years, and we're going to have a look and see where Arsenal is without us. Okay, so here we go. We have skipped forward 5 years to see how our squad has developed. Now, there's a few warning signs I see here. The manager's Roberto Di Matteo. That can't be good. And we finished 7th in the league. Again, that cannot be good. Kieran Tierney's the captain. Milinkovic-Savic is the vice-captain and the key player. So that means that they're most likely still at the club. Top goal scorer this past season was David Bergkamp. Still at the club, mate. We'll have a look and see how you've been going in a second. Milinkovic-Savic, most assists and most man of the match awards as well. So it looked as though a lot of the key players are still there. Off the field, though, I mean, that doesn't look good, does it? Let's dig in. Let's see what we can do here. Let's have a look, first of all, at the managers. Who came in to replace us? So we left. Carlo Ancelotti came in, spent 2 years at the club. He was sacked. He won a cup. Can we see what cup it was? He won the FIFA... So we won the FIFA World Club Cup. So that's something. At least we were crowned world champions. Then Max Musterman came in. Now, I have a feeling that's a rename. I'm not sure who that is. Won not a single thing. Pablo Villa, who was at the club with us, I think. He was put in. He was one of our coaches. He was a caretaker for a little bit. And then Roberto Di Matteo has come in this year and led the club to 7th. So basically, we've reverted to Arsenal, it looks like. All right, let's go and have a look at competitions here. Let's start with the Premier League. Hopefully we're still in the Premier League, because they haven't gone that far. So there we are. There's our back-to-back league titles. We came 2nd the year after we left, then 3rd, then 5th, then 3rd. And this current season, if we go and look at the Premier League table, of course, the 24-25 season, there we are there, down in 7th. What has gone wrong? 18 wins, 11 draws, 9 defeats, 65 points. That's not good enough, is it? If we go to stages, actually, and let's just go back and see here. So we got 80 points, so that's not too bad. 80 points 2 seasons ago. Season before that, 76. Still beat Spurs, though, by a point. That's the main thing. Season before that, 3rd, 88 points. So again, that's not bad. They're decent point totals, aren't they? 2nd with 89 points. Man City ran away with it the year after we left. They got to 100 points. Those bastards, we fell just short of that. So that's not too bad. Let's go back and have a look maybe at some cup runs. Did we do anything in the cups after we left? Where are we here? Champions League. So we lost the season after we won it. We lost to Barcelona in the quarterfinals. Lost to Monaco in the first knockout round. That's not good enough, is it? Milan and then Napoli both in the quarterfinals. They reverted to Arsenal. As soon as we left, we've gone back to Arsenal. FA Cup, we won it 2 years in a row. So we lost to Manchester City in the 6th round, lost to Chelsea in the 3rd round, Brighton in the 5th round on penalties. A few penalties shootout defeats here. Manchester United in the 6th round, and Swansea City in the 4th round. That is unacceptable. Now, we never took the EFL Cup too seriously. As you can see there, we lost in the 4th and quarterfinal. So lost to Manchester United in the 4th round, Liverpool in the 3rd round, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Liverpool. So probably understandable defeats there, especially if we weren't taking it that seriously. All right, let's go and have a look at the squad and see what is there. Let's go to the... Okay, so Bert Leno is still the goalkeeper. Hector Bellerin is still right back. Now, Isaac, the young defender that we signed, he is in the starting lineup. Let's have a look at how he's done. He's been out on loan a few times into the Championship. Last 2 seasons he's come in and done an okay job, but nothing too spectacular there. Who else is still there? Torreira is still around. Reece Nelson is still around. Let's tell you what, let's go and have a look at how these players are done. So, Bert Leno, looks like he's pretty much been the consistent starter and done a decent job. Hector Bellerin, again, stuck around. Hasn't been first choice, but of course Semedo would have been around as well, so perhaps understandable there. Lucas Torreira, now 29, of course, in the prime of his career. He had a season on loan at Manchester United. Was that after we left? Or no, what is going on there? Unbelievable. But otherwise, it's been a relatively good... Was that Carlo Ancelotti that did that? I would have sacked him on the spot. Reece Nelson, let's have a look here. Reece Nelson, now 25, again in the prime of his career. He has been playing... He's been a regular and playing quite well. Maybe just the last season or two, a bit of a drop-off there. But Reece Nelson's done okay. Milinkovic-Savic, here he is. The man, the legend. Look at that. Still just an absolute beast of a man at 35. So he's one season there, or two seasons with us. Look at those goals. I tell you what, he found his goal-scoring boots after we left under Carlo Ancelotti, didn't he? But he's found them again this season as well. He's been a really good player. He's an absolute beast, Milinkovic-Savic, so I'm not too surprised that that's happened there. Marin, of course, I think he was our first signing, wasn't he? We sent him out on QPR for a year. Went to Southampton, and then he's come back from his loan and been we'd say a regular starter. So that's good to see. Pietro Pellegrini, of course, he was an absolute weapon for us, wasn't he? Signed him there for 1 year, did a job. Did not get on with Carlo Ancelotti that first season, did he? Maybe some injuries. And then he's dropped off again. Hasn't quite been the signing that I would have expected him to be for Arsenal. Anyone else here? Alex Iwobi, still at the club. Where are we here? 2 seasons with us, and he was a big player under Ancelotti, wasn't he? And maybe not so much after that, but always plays well, doesn't he, Alex Iwobi? So that's good to see there. Edin, this guy, whose name I still can't pronounce. Now, I was considering selling on Aubameyang to give him first team football. If we hadn't won the Champions League. And yeah, he's played, but maybe not the goals you would expect from him. Anybody else here? Kieran Tierney, see what he's been doing. 2 years with us, and as you would expect, regular starter and playing very, very well. And he was club captain, as we saw as well, so that's good to see. Now, where are our 2 youngsters here? We saw that David Bergkamp was the top goal scorer, and oh wow, Mr. Bergkamp, what a player. He's still only 22. What a player he is. Now, he's wanted here. Who's he wanted by? Manchester United. Let's have a look at his career progression here. After we left, he went out on loan for a season, it looks like, to Leicester. Came back for a bit, a year on loan at Wolves. But the last 2 years has really kicked on, hasn't he? And been, it looks like, a regular starter and regular goal scorer for Arsenal as well. So that's all good to see. And Semedo is still there as well. And he is probably the one that's been playing in place of Bellerin, perhaps. Yeah, it looks like they've pretty much like we did with them. They've been sharing that role. So our team has done okay. Now we want to have a look and just see if Thomas Houlihan is still around. Oh, he is still around. He's out on loan. Let's have a look here. On loan at Villa. Oh, get in. What a place to be, Thomas. Doesn't look as though he particularly developed maybe as we would have hoped. That's us when we left. So he went a season at League 2, it's been 2 years at the Villa. League 1, not so much. Championship. So it looks like he's a good, solid championship player, Thomas Houlihan. So maybe not an Arsenal player in the end, but I mean, his physical stats are still quite good. And of course, we did have a couple of moments from him, didn't we? So that's all well and good. Let's go and have a look at this transfer history and see where it kind of all went a little bit wrong. And let's go back to where did we leave? We left, that was our last year, wasn't it? Because we sold Macy. Okay, so let's have a look here. This is the year after we left. Who did we sell? We didn't sell anybody really there. A couple of loans out. Did not sell anybody, Ancelotti, that first year. The next year, Ramsey went to Everton for 10 million. That's maybe fair enough, because he would have been getting on a little bit as well. Callum Chambers went off to Brighton. There's Houlihan off to Villa. They let Ben Shafe go. That's fair enough, I think. Mings left as well. Again, fair enough. I probably would have been looking to sell him as well. Socrates out on loan. Olsen out on loan. Whatever happened to Olsen? Because he was quite good. I did like him. He's at West Brom now. Sort of just my own interest there. Sorry about that, guys. And Lacazette sold to Watford for 4.5. Lacazette was kind of no longer needed, was he? Jack Butland left the next season. Anyone else out here? Socrates was sold. Maitland-Niles to Everton as well for big money. Granit Xhaka, 52 million to Paris. Aubameyang, that would have been fair enough because he would have been getting on a little bit at this stage. What are we here? 2022, 23. Kalashnic, sorry, as well. Mkhitaryan, again, probably fair enough because he would have been getting on a little bit. Anybody else here that's gone? 80 million, we didn't sign him, so that's not really of our concern. Mustafi went to Zenit. Now, again, he would have been getting on a little bit at this point, so that's maybe fair enough. Rob Holding as well, surprised he lasted that long. This kid, he was a prospect we never really used. Harry Clark, similar scenario. And this last season, Smith Rowe on a free. Guendouzi had on loan at West Ham. Yeah, so I think it's fair to say that there were good days under us at Arsenal, and it did kind of go all a little bit wrong after that 7th in the league. That hurts my heart. And the thing is that a lot of the team that we built is still at the club. So there's really no excuses why things have gone so wrong. Anyway, it just shows how good we were, doesn't it? Anyway, guys, that's it for this Arsenal series. I was hoping it would go on a little bit longer, to be honest, but we did manage to do the job in 2 seasons. So there we go. Now, I am looking for suggestions for the next First Star series. As I said at the start, I'm thinking Everton would be a good one. Newcastle United might be an interesting one as well. Maybe a little bit less money, a little bit more of a challenge there. Crystal Palace, perhaps, West Ham, any team that hasn't won the Champions League yet, except for City, because that's not really a challenge, is it? If you don't win that the first year, I feel like you are doing something wrong. And we don't really want to do Spurs, because we've just done Arsenal, and I'm going to lose all my integrity. Any sort of reputation I have will go down the drain if I go and do Spurs straight away. So let me know who you would like to see. It doesn't have to be an English club necessarily. Even someone like Glasgow Rangers, but I feel like in Scotland, if you're challenging for the Champions League, the league's going to be a little bit boring. So I'm open to suggestions, guys. Let me know who you want to see. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, if you've enjoyed this series. It's good to see. David Bergkamp has really kicked on to become a world-class star. So that's congratulations, mate. You've done really, really well for yourself there. But as I said, thumbs up if you've liked the video, if you've liked the series. Make sure you're subscribing, and please do come back. And if you don't, keep watching the channel, even though I know some of you are Arsenal fans and might be disappointed that this has come to an end. But we finished on the high with the Champions League win. What a game it was as well. So until next time, I've been Aussie Villain. On behalf of all the boys from Aussie Villain Fan TV, Charlie Braithwaite, Ash, Tom, and of course Terry, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I will see you again. Take care.